going too fast. I'm taking three.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today we are going to take a look at a battle in the Fiji, but we'll also talk about some new and upcoming things in ships as well. So the first thing you might notice is I have some clan tags on myself here next to my name. Yes, NGA is beta testing, you know, the initial sort of comings of clans. It's very, very rudimentary at this point in time, but still nice to see that that is coming. It'll probably be in the new year, I would most likely imagine. What else is new? We do have new Japanese destroyers now. I was a little upset with the changes to the Japanese destroyers. Not necessarily, I guess, well, not necessarily with the ships themselves, more with how they dealt with the commander thing. Now, I don't know how many of you have played, you know, probably most of you have played World of Tanks. Well, I, you know, played World of Tanks a whole lot, and way back when, in the Russian heavy tank line, when the IS-7 was tier 10 and the IS-4 was tier 9, I had both of them, and then remember they did the split on the heavy tank line, and IS-4 became tier 10, and what they did was they gave you the tier 10, and you got your commander and all that stuff, and then they gave you a tier 8, or what was it? I want to say T110, but I know that's the IS-8. The IS-8, there it is. They gave the IS-8 as the tier 9 with the equivalent commander. That's what I wanted them to do in ships as well, but it's not what happened. Some commanders got, you know, added, and they weren't retrained, and they needed like one battle to retrain, and they didn't have as many points. It was just a little concerning, but it happened. Now, I have since played out in some of the Japanese destroyers. I've taken out the Hatsuharu, which is now at tier 6 in the new branch, and I've played the tier 9 Yagumo, I think it's called, or whatever. Interesting. I do like how, you know, the whole thing now is really about concealment. Everything you do with the Japanese destroyers is pretty much about concealment. So I enjoy that, and I enjoy the stealth firing of the torpedoes and whatnot, but it's just, the destroyers aren't as fast as I want them to be, and I guess it's a byproduct of having such powerful torpedoes, but still, I don't know. Anyway. Campaigns. We've got campaigns in game now as well. I have been working through them feverishly. I'm doing the not the Signs of Victory one, not the easy ones. I'm focusing mostly on the other side, where, you know, you'll get that premium Japanese destroyer at the end of it. Now I know that that destroyer isn't fantastic, but still I want it. So I'm working on those. And in the meantime too, I do pick up a few Signs of Victory campaigns. But all in all, I really enjoy playing those campaigns. The biggest thing that I find with myself anyway is that I'm always now playing tier 8, 9, and 10. That is what I'm doing whenever I'm in ships, is those 3 tiers, which is great because those are my favorite tiers. But it's also not so great because I have ships like the Fiji here at tier 7, and I have some other tier 7s that I could be working on that I'm just not playing because it's not a tier 8. So I really do have to get myself the Edinburgh as quick as I possibly can so that I can start including the British cruisers in here. But yeah, really enjoying the campaigns. Right now I'm on one of them that I'm doing is like get 30 Citadel hits while in a cruiser of tier 8, 9, or 10. And I'm really enjoying that challenge right there because, as you know, I have a lot of cruisers, and I really enjoy cruisers. So I've been playing my Hindenburg, my Moskva, the Moskva AP. I forget who had mentioned it, but most of you probably know as well, maybe. The Moskva AP is amazing. Just like the HE on the Moskva, the AP is just phenomenal. It will do some amazing things for you. And so really enjoying just like ruining people's day with that AP. And speaking of rune, playing out the rune as well. I mean, it's really easy to get these challenges done. I found the only one actually that I've struggled with was the get 3 dreadnoughts. I just wasn't able to get dreadnoughts. It kind of pissed me off, and it's the only one I have remaining from the first sort of set of tasks to do, and then, you know, I'd have all those complete. But I am on the second set now, almost on the third. But yeah, those dreadnoughts are just hard to come by, I guess. Plus, another thing too, and I've only started to notice it as more as these campaigns came into play here. I only have 3 tier 8 battleships, and I don't have a tier 9 or a tier 10 battleship, so it makes grinding the battleship challenges or tasks a grind, and it's not as fun as, you know, being able to jump around in different ships. Granted, you know, same 3 tiers, but just different classes of ships and playing out those. So need to get myself the Izumo. Now I'm pretty close. The Izumo is 15.9 million credits, and I think I have 11.7 million right now, so hopefully I'll have the Izumo soon. They have the Arpeggio challenges going on right now, the ARP Arpeggio, I think that's what it is. I don't really know. I'm not an anime fan. I don't watch any anime, but if you are, cool, you know, I'm sure you're enjoying these. But what I'm enjoying from it is that, you know, I already have had all those ships sitting in the other port there. So as I'm completing the challenges, I have been getting port slots, which is amazing. I think I have like 12 port slots now. It's so good. I mean, I did buy, to be fair, I bought 4 or 5 port slots while they were on sale last time, which really excited and happy about, and then even more excited and happy to find out that all of those ARP ships that I never used once, I've never sailed in any of them, I can actually I can actually get something useful out of having those for once, so hooray. It just made my day. So I mean, there is a lot of new things and exciting things happening here in ships, and it's very great to see. I mean, I have been playing a lot of ships these past few weeks. I know that, you know, the amount of videos we've been uploading has definitely gone down, but that's mostly just due to, you know, things happening in real life that are just taking up more time. But when we do get to take a look here at some ships, we do see some fairly new things that are happening, and it's just great. I mean, there's a lot of quality of life improvements made too as well since the new patch. I mean, you actually get to see the countdown timer, you know, when you are capping a base, which is very useful indeed. The planes finally show the actual tier that the plane is. No longer is it, oh, you know, it's a P-36 Warhawk or whatever, you know. You know, that doesn't really tell you anything. It tells you, sure, you know, it's that type of plane, but what tier of plane is it is really more important. So that is always pretty great. Enjoying that. But yeah, all in all, I think, you know, this year in ships, and it's almost over, but it still has more to go. I can't wait to see what they're going to do for Christmas, but has been very productive indeed, and really enjoying where the game is going so far. I'm sure there were critics out there who have, you know, their own crazy opinions and think they could be doing a better job. Well, they could always be doing a better job, and by they, obviously, I mean Wargaming, but what we have right now, I'm fairly pleased with. Another new thing, obviously, the Mighty Mo. We have the Missouri in game now, finally, and she's different in that she costs free experience. So 750 free experience to get yourself a Missouri. I don't have one. I have no plans on getting one. I'll throw that out there right now, because I am not paying. I think some people were saying it was like 150 American dollars, so it's going to be quite a bit more Canadian dollars, and I definitely do have the free experience. I have millions of free experience just sitting there from all my ships, but no interest whatsoever in converting that. Now, I might save some free experience, but I really don't see myself doing that either, because generally my free experience is used to finish something off, like finish off the final bit of research on a ship, finish off the final bit of research for a module. That's generally how I use my free experience. Now, I have actually been saving my free experience a little as of late, because I got a super container the other day with 50,000 free experience, so I do have quite a bit of free experience sitting there right now. And if Wargaming would own up to its own promises that they made long ago and finally unite your World of Tanks account with your World of Ships account, I would have another like 60,000 free experience from my World of Tanks account. So I could. I guess I'd almost have it, but still, whatever. Doesn't matter. Not going to happen. But still, it's nice that the money mo's in it. It's cool that Steven Seagal is on the back of the ship doing some kicks and whatnot. But really, shouldn't he be more, you know, on the Russian side, I thought? Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. So, battle has progressed quite a bit here. And you can see that in the Fiji, with my allies here, you know, we have just been pushing this flank the entire time. We're going towards the north, and once we get up here to the north, we're going to sail into the enemy base. That's, you know, what we're doing, and we're doing it very aggressively in this game here as well, which is odd because it's not very often I find in my British cruiser, at least in the Fiji, because you know the Fiji is the highest tier I have in British cruisers, that I play very aggressively. Generally, I'm pretty passive and defensive when I'm in my British cruisers because of the lack of armor. Like usually, you know, you get in there, you pop your smoke, you sit in your smoke, and you're firing out your guns, and you're trying to, you know, avoid any incoming fire as much as possible. That is usually how I play it. But in this game, it's been a whole lot more mobile, so I haven't had time to just sort of stop and pop my smoke and shoot off at enemies. For the majority, I've been with allies, and who are around me. You know, we can see them behind me on the minimap, and they have been the center of the enemy's attention, and not so much myself, which is really giving me, you know, some maneuverability and some longevity here, and sort of different sort of play style with the British cruisers than, you know, I may have been used to. Still enjoying the British cruisers. I'm hearing great things about the higher tiers, the Neptune. A few people in the clan have the Neptune, and they are enjoying it very, very much, which is great. Edinburgh, I understand the Edinburgh is pretty good. I think the gun angle, the gun arcs on the Edinburgh is you know, pretty flat, so it makes it fairly easy to just do massive amounts of damage very quickly, so I'm looking forward to that. And then the Minotaur, obviously I do want to get myself a Gatling gun. Why not? So pushing ever closer into the enemy base here, you can see I am making use of cover though, right? I'm not being just all out, go in there and take as much damage, or you know, go in there and dish out as much damage in the wide open. I am using the cover that I have around me to work my way closer towards the base, and this is something that I would highly recommend everyone do, regardless of what ship class you play. You know, if you have the opportunity to do it, and generally speaking, in most maps, on most maps, I mean, there are open areas, right? Those are designed in there and stuff, but usually you can go from cover spot to cover spot and work your way around. I mean, you might have to go out into the open like I am right now, but it's only going to be for a little while I get myself to another landmass here, and it'll be there if I need it as well. So we see some enemies off in the distance, right? I am spotted. I've been spotted a lot this whole game, but like I said, my allies are around me, and they're the ones who are taking a lot of the damage. Plus, the allies that I have around me are battleships, so, you know, we're doing pretty good here in this whole charge. Now, if we look at the minimap, we'll notice, and probably noticed early on as well, that the majority of the enemy team went south towards our base. So, back at our base, we do have some really good defense going on there, preventing those enemies from coming in and just, you know, rumble stopping our allies and taking our base. Instead, they did manage to fend off those enemies. Now we are capping the enemy base, and it is great because we know that soon the enemies are going to have to make a decision, right? Some of them are going to come back towards us, and some are going to maybe continue the push towards our base, which will split their forces and make it a lot easier for us to pick them off. I mean, really though, at this point in time in the battle as well, there are only 4 enemies remaining, but still. Now, I do have a destroyer in front of me in this smoke. I know the destroyer is here, and I'm sailing straight towards the destroyer, right? I do have my acoustic sonar almost down off cooldown, and once it does come down off cooldown, I can get in a little closer and then pop it and hopefully be able to see the enemy destroyer, because I really do want to be able to take this player down. Help out my team a little, right? Now, I haven't done a whole lot of damage this battle. I mean, I'm sitting on about 52,000 damage, which isn't too bad. There's the enemy destroyer. But what I have been doing is really supporting my allies, right? Really playing a good supporting role here in this battle. And I'm able to do it as well. I mean, giving credit where credit is due because of the allies that I have in the game here. This was just a good team in a random battle that we have. And it does happen. It definitely does happen. I know it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So we managed to take down the enemy destroyer. Fantastic. I am unfortunately going to turn out of the enemy base, which kind of sucked because it's going to reduce all the cap points that we had, but I'm just going to continue to turn and circle back in and get back on that cap. Not only is it going to give me, you know, more points and experience and credits and stuff, but still it's going to force the enemy to make decisions fairly quickly, and plus I didn't want to really risk chasing down some enemy battleships this late in the game, because I'm still at the end of the day in a British cruiser and I can just get wiped away without any sort of challenge whatsoever. Now it looks like, you know, we have this pretty much in the bag. We still do have an enemy aircraft carrier at play, right? We can see the planes over there off in the distance, so we do want to be fairly careful. I mean, the AA on the Fiji isn't too bad, and the AA on the British cruisers in general is actually pretty decent. So, you know, I don't have too much to worry about the planes unless they overwhelm me. I mean, if they all do come at me, it could overwhelm my AA. Now, we do have an ally here in the cap with me as well, so this is good because, you know, if the planes do decide to come over, we can just sort of use our AA collectively. Plus, we are capping the base a little faster. So we only have a few seconds remaining on the cap. I think it's like, I can barely see, but I'm hoping it's around 20 seconds. Because I can't really see it, but still, not too bad of a game. I did manage to kill that enemy destroyer, which is pretty good, but again, it was really, you know, the quality of my team, right? Right at the beginning, we just sort of charged off to the north, took out whatever enemies we had. There weren't many. The majority of the enemy's teams did go straight towards our base, and then it was really our allies who decided to stay and play the defensive role at our base. You know, those guys deserve a lot of credit as well. And we'll see once the final results come up here that, yeah, they definitely did do some damage over there. But not a typical game for the British cruiser, at least in my experience. I mean, you know, others will definitely have other experiences, but not typical for me anyway, because, you know, like I say, generally it's more passive and defensive. Get in there, pop my smoke, and then just dish out damage while remaining unspotted for as much of the games I possibly can. Battle is over. Victory is ours. You can see some decent results. 190,000 credits earned, 5,100 experience, 56,000 damage. Not too bad, and I did get the assist there on the base capture, which is pretty decent as well. Second overall in the team, we can see some of my allies here, how they finished. And I do believe that the person who finished first overall was someone who stayed back and played the defense. We can see some of the damage, how it has spread out. You know, 56,000 spread out about amongst a number of ships. Meh, whatever. At least I didn't die, and I played a good supporting role. We get about 73,000 credits when all is said and done, but again, more important about the experience earned, right? Because still working my way towards the Edinburgh. Want to get that, and I think it's about 108,000 experience, and I'm at maybe 45,000 experience at this time, because I played this battle a few days ago. But anyway, that is today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, again, congratulations to those who won the contest. I don't have replays of those. It wasn't a requirement for the submissions, and I reached out to the people who did win, and unfortunately they don't have replays, so I won't have the replays, but we got to see screenshots at least of the final results. So as always, folks, you know, leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. Love reading those and responding back to them. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.